episode of True Tales, I'm going to take you on a journey of me being with a man on his dying day as he took his last breaths. This story happened this summer in Vista, California. It was about lunchtime. Frank had made a gorgeous, delicious lunch, and I wanted to eat on the back patio. And I, earlier that morning, said, I want to go shopping. I wanted to get some things at Home Goods, TJ Maxx, whatever. And I heard Spirit say to me, "You will go after lunch." I'm thinking, okay. So I take a shower, Frank makes the lunch, and we're having a gorgeous lunch together. Beautiful summer day. All is well in the world. And then Frank says, "Oh, let me go get the cheese. It's inside." This is our after lunch snack, cheese. So Frank goes inside the house and he's rummaging in the kitchen to make a cheese plate. All of a sudden, as I'm relaxing, listening to the birds, all of a sudden I hear boom! An explosion so big and so strong that the sonic waves of that explosion flew through the air. It's almost like they were traveling through the air, like stampeding horses, and finally hit my feet, vibrated up my legs, through my stomach and up my chest and out my mouth. I screamed, ah! Because I could feel that thunderous explosion. Instantly, I had little flip flops, little black outfit on, my hair's wet from the shower. I start running in the direction of the explosion. And I'm running out my front door, through the cul-de-sac, over the bridge, over the little creek that heads to the nature park, through an empty lot, up to what I see is a car crash. And as I'm running, I hear myself thinking. I said, "Where am I running? I don't even know where I'm running to." And a still small voice said, "You know exactly where you're running. Keep running." And so I keep running, and people start attracting themselves to this car accident. There's a car that has been completely exploded open. The motor was thrown from this vehicle. There were two people inside the car, one in the driver's seat and one in the passenger seat. There was an older man in a practically brand new, gorgeous truck, shiny, an older man. He must have been in his 60s or 70s, and he walked out of that head on collision. The two cars, boom, head on. And then he sat down. I said, "Are you okay, sir?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine." He was shooken, but he went and sat down. And I run to this car. The whole front had been ripped off. The motor had flown from the car. A woman, she was gone. Like, I didn't know where she was. She was not in her body. She was the passenger. The drivers, the driver in the driver's seat was slumped over, and his eyes were flickering. And people are coming. Unfortunately, there's a Vista community clinic right next to this car accident. And nurses are coming out and they're trying to scramble to get anything they can to help this person, medical devices, care kits, I don't know. Two young Mexican men come with me, and I'm standing at the window looking at this man, and his eyes are fluttering. He is teetering between life and death. And they're trying so hard to open this car door open. The window's broken, all this stuff. They cannot get this man out, and they're cutting their hands and everything. Some woman, some white woman is freaking out, and she's like, "Give him privacy, give him privacy." And of course, the lawyerly mind's like, "There's no expectation of privacy here in public, ma'am. We're all standing here." And there's some Mexican woman from the apartment building across the street, and they're coming out and they're praying. And as all of this crazy stuff is going on, I stand next to the men and I just get really calm and really still. And I just start talking to the man, and I said, "I know you can hear me. You are safe. Everything is okay. Help is coming. You're going to be fine. I'm going to be with you and I'll be right next to you until the emergency people come. And I said, just relax and stay calm. And I want you to think of everybody that you love and just focus on the thought of them. And as I'm saying to this man's eyes are fluttering. They're not opening, they're fluttering. You can see the eye movements behind. And I'm talking to him and I'm comforting him and I'm talking to him. And then as I'm saying all of this man is dying. And I know he's dying, but I'm praying in my mind, oh, please, let him survive. But if you see, when you see the picture of the accident, which I will include at the end of this, you're going to say, it'd be a miracle if he walked away. So the woman is, I'm looking at the passenger. She's not there. Like, she is limp. She's not dead because she still has color on her, but she is completely blacked out. She is not conscious. And finally, the paramedics and the firemen come, and the firemen come with the jaws of life. And I know as I'm talking to him, he is passing away, and I am the last voice that he ever hears. So the firemen come with the jaws of life, and they are able to open up the door, and they put him on a stretcher, and the firemen and the paramedics put on a heart pumping machine, and they're pumping his chest. Pumping, pumping, pumping. But he is not responsive. He is gone. They get the other accident victim and they put her in the other ambulance and they take her away. And this man, he is dead at the scene, but they're still trying to pump him, and they get him in the ambulance and they take him away. And then the old man, by a miracle of God, was absolutely fine. His truck was a little smashed, but he walked right out of there just fine, and he was able to go home no problems. But I think after reading the newspaper, he did get some medical follow up. So this man passes away, and a neighbor friend of ours, I must have been a year later, he said that another neighbor was filming the situation and that they recorded me praying for this man. And I'm just standing there on the side of the road just praying. You can see me kind of mumbling. And I remember thinking in that moment, as I am looking out at this scene, feeling what is going on. And I don't see any kind of negativity around me. I see nothing but serenity and peace and love. People in love coming to support this man as he is dying. Nurses coming to support this man as he is dying. Complete strangers trying to, at the risk of their own physical safety, trying to open the door so they could help this man out. I did not see anything negative. I didn't see any boogeyman. I didn't see any demonic entities. I did not see any negative spirits. All I saw around me was light, and all I felt was love. So that, to me, taught me that that's what life is. That's what this world is. But the thing about it is that there must have been, and this is my conjecture only, something inside of that man that caused an explosion. Something inside of him that caused that. And I did read later on the comments of his family on the YouTube video of this explosion accident, that there was drugs involved. So, I don't know. But that's my story. I've had many stories like this, close calls with death and helping people cross over. But this story is one of those stories that I felt like it was my destiny that day to be here with that man on his dying day as he took his last breath, and to be that one person who stood next to him with a kind word and something to say. And that's the reason why I believe that Spirit said, you can go after lunch. So after that accident, I got in my car and I went shopping. But my gosh, I realized that was an appointment that I was born for, made for, assigned for. I don't know. Have you ever had an experience like that where life seems to bring you and perfect strangers together to help them? All of us have within us the ability to help people in need. Maybe As a medium, my ability was to help him cross gently to the other side. Because in my mental eye, as they were carrying him away, I saw him sitting on the gurney doing this to me, and angels taking him away. So that's an unforgettable story I'll never forget. I'll share the image of that accident so you know what I'm telling you is true. So share with me in the comments your stories and your perspective and maybe what you feel from this. I'd like to hear from you. I'm Leslie Juvin-Acker, and this is True Tales. Thanks for joining me.